All right, let's get going. Hey, this is Rolf, Block Ops, here with the Zencash biweekly update. 3 weeks since the last one that we did, and in the middle of the last one, we were actually at me and Rob and a number of other folks were at the Latin American Bitcoin Conference in Bogota, Colombia, which was, I thought, really successful. And we actually did and went a tour of the underground church in the salt mine, and there was two full buses of all the people that had attended there, and it was great. There was a number of different folks. I got a chance to spend a little bit of time with Peter Todd and talk to him about a few different things. He's one of the Bitcoin uh, developers, and it's nice to do things like that. So we thought it was worthwhile to move it to this week, and we're going to be doing updates every 2 weeks going forward from here. So let's get going. Okay, big picture. We're just going to do a big overview of all the different things that we're going to talk about here. And I'm going to make sure that I've got my Discord up just so I can see anybody that notifies me about anything. All right, so our team is growing worldwide. We'll have some specific updates on that. This is a big part of our strategy, is to have people all over the world that are part of our community that are going out and helping other people to use Zencash and contributing in many different ways. We got some development updates. We always have development updates, which is great. We have a number of different development teams that are working in parallel. It's part of the way that we planned Zencash, and it really lets a lot of things happen at once in parallel. Different integrations and outreach are in progress. Integrations being integrations with exchanges, with different applications, and things like that, so that we can increase the utility and usability of Zencash. Secure node system, it's growing. Have some good updates on that. We've got a roadmap published. We're using Trello for roadmap, and we've published that and made it public. We've got some marketing updates and discussion about the rebranding. Got lots of different events and conferences that we have gone to and that we are going to. We'll talk about some of those. Our regional activity continues to ramp up, and our Latin American Bitcoin Conference presence and activity was really successful. So let's talk about this stuff in a little bit more detail. All right, first off, we're going to highlight a few community members. We have a huge and very positive and community that is really a core part of what we do. And secure nodes and the secure node tracking system has been a big part of what we're doing. And so I want to highlight that Cyrax, I don't think that's spelled quite right. I missed that. Sorry. Drafted a secure node help guides. He's been in the secure node channel doing assistance for people nonstop, and then has been taking some of the lessons learned and putting them in his blog post. So if any of you guys are looking at running and want to keep your secure nodes up and running, Cyrax blog posts are a great thing to do, and you'll probably see them in the Discord channel. Zigzag Zig redesigned Reddit. Reddit is a really important place to be for cryptocurrencies, and that's not something that we had been looking very good on. So really appreciate you doing that and redesigning it. So thank you for doing that, and I'm sure everybody appreciates it. And then Edilax, he had ID'd an issue with our coin supply information to CoinMarketCap, and then we had some folks that we're able to provide them the updated information, because CoinMarketCap, they get their the price of Zen from different exchanges, and then they get the supply usually from an explorer through an API. And so we made sure that that was all lined up properly so that they have the right amount of information to keep our public presence on CoinMarketCap up and going. And man, what a week it's been for cryptocurrency. This is an exciting industry to be in, and I'm really happy to be part of it. I'm sure all y'all are too. Okay, so new team members. So we're actively building a global team, and we're going to continue doing that. That's a large, important part of what we're doing, and there's a lot of countries in the world, and there's a lot of different languages spoken. There's a lot of different places, and it's great seeing the statistics that we have from our website of people from all over the world that are accessing Zen. and downloading the wallets and doing things like that. So we've got a West Coast development team that's headed up by Pierre, and one of our development teams. We have lots of different development teams. This one I'm highlighting because Pierre's got C and C++ developers, and that's important for our Zen node software for maintaining that, doing updates, doing upstream improvements that we get from Zcash and Bitcoin, and being able to set up different processes and standards for how we do our development. Software development is complex. It's well established, the ways to do the processes, so that there's development, testing, rollout, and then improvements, and all sorts of other things like that. So very excited about that. And we met a lot of people at the Latin American Bitcoin Conference all over South and Central America that are interested in being part of what Zencash is doing and looking at stepping up to be one of the regional people there. So I think the capabilities and messages that we have and where we're going with Zencash fits in quite well with the needs of the folks in Latin America for a usable cryptocurrency that has privacy as an option. So development, some quick hits on development updates. Of course, we have our development is done, and the different parts of it are in the GitHub. You can always go check that out at the Zencash official GitHub. The link's right there. We're doing a complete redesign of our website, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in the marketing and branding part of it. But I believe our website design is actually being done on the GitHub as well. We have a new Zen daemon release, so if you haven't updated, you should. There's some little issues and some various fixes that we identified as we're going through and doing things in production and making use of Zencash and doing things like the secure node tracking and integration and encryption with TLS and bringing different wallets and stuff like that. And we identify different things that we need to improve or fix. And that's great because we want to make our cryptocurrency usable and used by people all over the world. So we want something that gets wrung out a lot and tested in lots of different ways. Desktop GUI wallet. So for the Swing wallet, which is a full wallet, that's a layer on top of the Zen node software when it's running on your system. There's a troubleshooting guide in GitHub and part of a download. So you'll see that, and there's little things that that are helpful to know when you're using the wallet. And as more people are doing secure nodes and need to have addresses and use the wallet and are testing the messaging, it's useful to be able to have that troubleshooting part. Hey, I'm hearing a little bit of background noise on some of the audio. Let's see. If you're part of the audio stream on the Discord, you are welcome, but also hoping that you keep it muted if there's some background noise. Thanks. All right. And Ledger. That Ledger integration has been very active for the last few weeks. There is a lot of progress being made. I'm not sure of the exact status. I do know that there's a number of folks that are working on it and are testing it on the Ledger. As a note from on the hardware wallet side of things, down at the Latin American Bitcoin Conference, Trezor was represented there. They had a big old booth, and I went and talked to them about the Trezor T, the Trezor Model T, which is their new model coming out, and they had a demo version there with a little touch screen. I already pre-ordered one of them, so I'm pretty excited about it. And I was asking them to figure out how we can get Zencash support on the new Trezor, and it actually turns out that they've designed this for lots of different cryptocurrency support. So the way that I understood it, which may be close to reality, is that they designed it so that if you go to the Trezor Model T GitHub, you'll see that there's some cryptocurrencies that they've put the application that has to be downloaded there on the Trezor Model T. And that provides a framework for organizations like ours to create our own version, and the language that it's written in is MicroPython, which I'm assuming is a is very similar to Python, or a subset of Python that's designed for microcontroller-based devices. And you can load that up and have it self-signed, and after things are tested and working well, and as the cryptocurrency is one of the major ones, that the Trezor folks will put it into the main part of their system. So to me, that's good news that we have the ability to write our own application to go on the Trezor Model T. We're able to load it ourselves and able to make it a Zencash signed application. So that's good news also. We want to be able to have lots of different hardware wallet support. Okay, so secure node updates. If you have gone to the secure node tracking page, which is securenodes.zensystem.io, and then it defaults to your region based upon where you're coming from, you'll see that we have a lot of secure nodes up and running. We're getting close to 3,000, which is really exciting because that is part of our overall purpose towards usability. We want people to be using Zencash on their own applications, on their own wallets. We want people to do messages. We want people to do shielded transactions, people to do all sorts of different things. And if we're asking people to use Zencash for day-to-day usage, we want to make sure that we have the backend infrastructure to have it be accessible to everybody who has a wallet that's up and running and reliable and keep things up and running. So that's a big part of the secure nodes, is that we want to have the overall system up and going so that people can rely on using Zencash. So that's why it's exciting that there's thousands of them out there. And this, we're still in beta test on it. We consider it that way. We did alpha testing on the own system, beta testing on a much larger system, and we're going to roll into production on the same system that we're doing beta testing. And the purpose of having the beta testing on the main net, which is we switched over to a few weeks ago, is that people are anticipating that they're going to be able to get credit for earning Zencash soon. And as we've been ramping up, our developers, led by DevMan, have been identifying issues and concerns and things like that to address the scaling. And so we feel pretty comfortable about that. The teams, Chronic's got the servers going, so it's great to have a sysadmin who has the level of capabilities that he does. And it's great to have a software developer lead like DevMan that's doing this stuff. So what's next? Well, payouts are coming really, really soon. And how soon? Well, we're planning on starting to accrue uptime credit for the secure nodes here in 2 days on December 15th. And then we are going to start doing payments. The plan is to do payments weekly, and we might do them in a couple days just to make sure that we have the payments, the payment methodology working properly. And then we're planning on doing accelerated payments for the accrued secure node funds, because we did a hard fork a while back that put in the mining reward redirection for the secure nodes at 3.5%, and that's been accruing. And so we're intending to do accelerated payouts to the people that are running valid secure nodes. And certainly everybody that's part of the team recognizes that there have been a lot of folks that have been assisting in the testing and helping other people and sending testnet Zencash and things like that to folks. So if there are people or names that people have recognized, please send those to Rocket so that we can do something special in the future for those folks. We got a roadmap publicly available on Trello. We've always been talking about a roadmap, and it's been a fairly consistent roadmap. We're going through the original ideas of the white paper and are executing on those. Some additional things have come up that we have added to the roadmap. And so Trello The roadmap is set up as a Kanban system on Trello. So we have the ideas, the things that are to do, and the things that are doing, and the things that are done. And so folks that are part of the team go in and update it. But the actual Trello roadmap is available itself. I have a link down here at the bottom. I know that you all can't click the links. Maybe somebody can post that in the Discord chat and the chat on the YouTube, and then we can do a blog post that includes the links and stuff like that later on. So we're going to get some updates from our different country leads, so you're not hearing just me talk. These are the country leads that we have right now. We're continuing to add folks as we go forward in the future, and a few of them have some updates for you. So Adnan has provided us some updates. I do not think that he's on. For any of y'all regional leads, please, if you're on and you want to talk, just jump in and let me know that. But Adnan, he presented Zencash to a group of folks at the Blockchain Summit in Auckland, which is wonderful. Shared our vision, got good feedback, and some follow-up and things like that. That's the fun thing that I noticed going to the different conferences representing Zencash here over the last month is you talk to so many people and you take so many notes and you gather so many cards, and then you're like, oh, wow, I've just committed to do so much follow-up with all these different folks. And sometimes that takes a little bit of time, but it's good to have the opportunity to be able to do that. And so we started a communication channel to conduct monthly Zencash meetups in Australia and New Zealand, and that's great. And we got the Russian and Eastern European market update. David, I see that you're here. You want to jump in?
Sure, Rolf. Yeah. Hey, everyone. David here. We have quite a few things going on, kind of juggling multiple fronts in the Russian and Eastern European market. I would start with a great conference experience that we had in Warsaw. That's in the Eastern Europe. As you know, we were able to send our community star in Russia. Everybody probably knows by now, Alex, goes by August Z in some of the channels there. And he was just all over, got a lot of good contacts. We're already following up with them in different countries. That's basically, I would call it a success. It was a very helpful event. As Rolf mentioned, I think networking is the key in the world of cryptocurrency. We are having a Zen wallet giveaway of 10 Zen. And it takes actually pretty straightforward. Those who want to participate, watch the interview done by ICO startups. You can literally put in the YouTube search field ICO startups Zencash, and it will come up. You watch it. There's very straightforward instructions. You basically download the wallet and send a message to a address indicated there, and your name will be included in the drawing. Luckily, I was worried that today's meeting. I wasn't sure if the last time since we skipped it was going to be in 2 weeks or 1 week, but I'm glad we're having it today because I can broadcast to larger community, everyone who is listening, that it's tomorrow. So you guys get your wallets out and I should say, download them, and if you want to participate. I'm really excited to announce our sort of broadening our relationship with this company called rootcrypto.com. Oleg is the lead guy there. They're the same people who actually have done a very successful campaign for Dash in the past, and for whatever reason, we hit it off right on, and we're planning to start a whole new site called zenglobalnews.com. Even though it will be based in Eastern Europe, Russia, it will be in 2 languages, English and Russian, and we're going to be publishing a few articles a week about Zencash, and they'll be basically our official media partner. And the kickoff date there is January 1st. It's when the site will be live. By the way, if you may remember, they've already done a few articles for us on their own website, the main website, rootcrypto.com. So if you guys want to take a look at it. Last but not least, well, it's probably not the last. There's a few more others, but at least on the slide is I was fortunate to get invited to a conference called BTC Awards in CIS in Kiev, Ukraine, on December the 20th. where actually quite a few of our community members promised to show up there, just kind of cheer and support Zencash. And aside from being a speaker and being able to talk about Zencash to a larger group of cryptocurrency users, I think it's an awesome marketing and networking opportunity, more so because there'll be a lot of bright minds in crypto world of that part of the region at that conference. There's a website, I think it's btcawards.com or something like that. If you Google it, you will see on the list of speakers there. And I didn't want to overload the slides with a lot of small font text, so I have a few other updates starting from developing part, or developers. As Rolf mentioned, our kind of grand vision is to have a multiple little groups of almost like decentralized development plan for Zencash improvements, and one of those pockets and groups will be in Eastern Europe and Russia. And I have almost daily interaction and sometimes interviews with different developers and talking about what to improve next. And I just want to let you know, I know several people have reached out to me about the improving the mining in software and interface that we have, and the Xenomps, and that's definitely on the list. Just want to kind of put the word out there that we're working on it. Other little things such as integrations with merchants. It's not exactly merchant, but we actually pulled off a really interesting listing on a website called Zona.media. It's almost like a Russian version of WikiLeaks. That's how I was explained. And we're listed there as one of the ways to contribute and pay them or make donations. And it's funny, if you go there, there's three cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the third one is Zencash. And for the Zencash, we have two different addresses. One is transparent, and the other one is shielded. And I thought it was perfect one for WikiLeaks. If big politicians or some lawyers want to kind of contribute significant amount of money and remain private, that's the perfect opportunity. They can't do it with Bitcoin or Ethereum or probably most of the other cryptocurrencies, but they can do it with Zencash now. So those a lot of these little things, here and there, but I thought it was an cool little thing to mention. And I think I'll leave it at that. I don't want to monopolize all the conversation. I know there's a lot of other exciting country updates. So please, next one.
Thanks, David. And to just leverage on that, I think it's great that that site that's similar to WikiLeaks is accepting donations in Zencash. What they can also do, if they're interested, is when they publish the Zencash address, people can actually send them information anonymously through the messaging tab. So if you can help them get that part up and running, if they post their shielded address, someone can send them a message and they'll have no idea who it's coming from. They could even, rent some server somewhere using Zencash anonymously, post some documents on the server, and send a link to that server. So the anonymity that's provided by Zencash could help those folks too.
That's a brilliant idea, Rolf. I'm almost surprised I didn't think of it myself. I think it's a leak-proof WikiLeaks kind of thing,
It sure is. Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, that's the whole purpose between not only private, which is the two people that communicate know who they are and that they're talking, but anonymous, one-way communication. And you don't know who it's coming from. That can be bad, but it can also be good.
Exactly. Awesome. Great idea. Thanks a lot. We'll get on it.
You bet. Okay. And Arno, you're up next. Got your slide here.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me clear. I just start with the picture because I want to thank everyone who was participating in the presentation on the 13th November. For me, I met some people which I know from there, but we had some new guys. Thanks to Benjamin. He talked a lot after the presentation to me. And yeah, it was great. I'm looking forward for more meetups. For example, right now I'm planning with the PricewaterCooper group, a big one in Frankfurt am Main. It will be in West Germany. The plan is to have there two presentations, one technical one and one about some of our government's operations. Post also. So for you German guys who need some German content, check out the blog and then go to German language. There's a very, I think, interesting post about the governments and treasury system in Zencash. Yeah. So so far another item on my list is, I know it's not Germany, it is Netherlands, but nevertheless, it is a cooperation with a German company, namely Kiwi Grid. The special thing there is they have a small electrical device is distributing the electricity in houses for many families or small houses is some specific electronic device. And they put an operating system on it where you can enable smart contracts. Good, because when it comes to payment, and we want private payments, like payments where no one else can see how much electricity was used and paid, then Zencash is one good option. I'm in a cooperation, or why I'm talking to them, and how we set up this conference project. Yeah, in Amsterdam, there will be more than 6,000 experts from the energy sector. Zencash so far is the first and only cryptocurrency which might attend there. So it will be a big deal for us, but it needs more planning, and it's ongoing. More information I will let you know, of course, and I'm happy that I found a German company who is at least listening and who is also on the road with us. And then my last point is that I want to inform the community, the German community. I talked to two interesting people, Stefan and Andre. If you might listen, this will be good. If not, just continue with email communication with me. I'm very proud that you contacted me, and I think every one of you got some points where we can do some stuff within Zencash. I'm looking forward to hear more of you guys, and I think that's all from my side.
Great, thanks, Arno. That was a great update. Really appreciate it. And yeah, even though it's not Germany, I mean, go over and talk to those Dutch people, and maybe we'll get a Dutch community manager going. I got a lot of family over there.
We are also looking for some regional lead in Netherlands. Yeah, true.
Yeah, well, gosh, one of the times I visited my uncle who worked for Philips in Eindhoven, he was demonstrating this new thing they invented, the compact disc. This was back in '84, so they got some smart people there. All right, Rowan, let's hear the UK update from you. I'm excited about this. I got your slide up and going.
Perfect. Thanks very much. Thanks, Rolf. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay.
I know I can.
Apologies. Excellent. Great. So first off, apologies I didn't make the live stream last time round. Fortunately, Rob did a bit of an intro as to who I am, so I'm not going to go through that again. But what I will say is it's been a pretty manic first 3 weeks with Zencash. Try to get as much done as physically possible and try to push out as best we can across the UK. So brief update of what I've been up to, a kind of condensed version. Kicked off communications pretty much immediately with a number of different UK crypto bloggers, vloggers, and journalists, guys in different areas, not just in crypto, but also in general kind of tech. And the fruits of that have started to pay off. There's a couple of articles that are in progress that I can hopefully share with everybody in the next few days. I also kicked off discussions with a number of different merchants. The main thing that a lot of the guys in the community are saying is that they want to be able to set up their secure nodes and pay for them, pay for their VPSs with Zen. So I've made it a bit of a mission to try and make that a reality. So I've been speaking to a number of different data centers around Scotland and England to try and make that work. As of yet, there's nothing I can share, but we are making some reasonable progress. So hopefully I can come back with something on that for the next update. I'm still attending the monthly Scottish blockchain meetup. Last one was at Napier University. We held a kind of pub quiz afterwards, which my team managed to win, so that was great. But that's a really good place for us to speak to a lot of like-minded people in one room and share what Zencash is all about. So we've opened a lot of new wallets there, and we've rolled quite a few people back into the team, which is fantastic. We also sponsored a esports event down at Engage Gaming. The guys there have been absolutely brilliant, really, really receptive to what we're all about and what we're trying to do. So we gave them a small Zen prize to hand out for a a Counter-Strike tournament that was reasonably recent. And as well as that, they've also kind of decided they want to try and get more involved in Zencash. So we've set up 23 of their PCs to mine Zencash when they're not in use. So through the night, they'll now be mining away. And they've also agreed to start accepting Zencash in payment for the guys coming in and using the kit. So not really a massive big deal on a kind of national scale, but it is a great use case and case study that I can now take elsewhere and try and show the benefit of using Zencash. And then the thing I want to try and finish up on is just that I am actively looking to attend as many different events and meetups as I possibly can. I've kind of been isolated to Scotland thus far in the past few weeks, but anywhere in the UK, more than happy to travel. So if anyone has any suggestions of anything local to them that they believe we should be in attendance at, please get in touch. You'll get me on rowan@zensystem.io. I've also created a brand new Twitter account, so you'll see me at rowanRK6. Look forward to hearing from some people. And that is everything from me, Rolf.
Thanks, Ron. That's a great update. I think it's wonderful that you're getting out and about and talking to so many people, because that's really when you get a chance to, when you have to teach somebody something, is when you really have to go learn deeply about it. And notice that at the Latin American Bitcoin Conference, talking to people nonstop. I think the booth started like at 7:30 in the morning and went till 6:45 at night. Fortunately, we had a team there, so we could spell each other. But yeah, when you're talking and explaining, and people ask the questions, that really gives you the opportunity to hone your message and emphasize the important things and see what resonates with folks. So it's great that you're getting out and about. And I see that Luca is on the audio here. So I just clicked over to your slide, Luca, and love to get an update on the Italian market.
Hey, hi. Yes, I'm actually jumping off a train, so I can ask you, how is the quality of the audio?
I hear you great. Some of the folks on the YouTube are saying it's a little bit choppy, so maybe talk a little bit more slowly. I've got a big bandwidth connection here, so I'm not really sure what's going on, but sound good to me.
Okay, so yes, actually, I'm coming home now from a meeting I just had with the Chains Block CEO and CTO. They are the people that basically brought here in it the first Bitcoin ATMs. The meeting was very successful, I would say. It was just a first meeting, but what we are trying to do is basically encouraging them in knowing more about Zencash, our ecosystem, and evaluating the adoption of Zen in the ATMs. So we're trying to do something which we believe it could be very big here. Apart from that, what I'm doing for the Italian community is also reaching out the most used exchanges. So the most used exchanges by the Italian crypto lovers, and of course building up the community. I'm very happy to announce that more and more Zen wallets are being opened. All the people I'm talking with about this project are very enthusiastic and willing to know more about what we do, what we are, and what are our distinction points. After that, I'm also pleased to tell you that my first interview was released by it's called illbitcoin.news, and it's basically one of the main websites / blogs that speak about the blockchain, the crypto world, and so on. You can see the link. You can click on it if you want, so that you will be able to read the full interview. Then I'm also working on some other things, like I'm actually writing other interviews. I'm being interviewed by other people, other websites, and I'm also writing a localization for the Secure Node guide. I can see a lot of interest on that point, so I decided to localize the guide in order to help the Italian community in establishing other secure nodes here. And finally, I'm also creating a Facebook social media page. Basically, it's now live. You can see also that link. You can click on it, start following it. My plan is to have it. It just went out, so I just made it public. Now it has, I think, 2 likes. But my plan is to have at least like 300 likes by the end of the year. Let's see how far we can go with that. That was all, I think. So I would like to say Happy Star Wars Day to everybody. In fact, I'm going to watch a Star Wars movie tonight. I think in America it's not yet released, but it will be tomorrow, right?
You got it. We're all looking forward to it, and I mean, all my kids they're like, buy tickets, let's go, and I'm looking forward to it too. So yeah, happy Star Wars Day, and I hope it's a good showing for you. Thanks.
Yeah.
That was a great update,
Yes.
Luca. And one thing on the links, they don't work as well on the live stream on YouTube. So what we're intending to do is to take these pictures and put them on the blog, and then provide the links and follow-up information there. But great that you're getting interviews and getting out and about. So thank you for the update.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, and now we've got a Latin American market update, and you can see pictures of Angie and Ruben there in the upper right-hand corner. I don't see that Angie is on the Discord, so I'll do the update. It was the first time that I was in South America, and I really enjoyed going to Bogota, and it's at 7,800 feet of altitude. What's that, about like 2,500 meters? And it's up there, so it's like permanent springtime, so it was kind of neat. It was a very well-attended event, and there was people from all over the place. From our side of things, I was there, Rob was there, Rosario, Angie, Ruben, and Gustavo flew over from Portugal, and it was great that we had everybody there. I'm not a native Spanish or Portuguese speaker, and we had lots of people from Brazil, so it was great that Gustavo was there, and there was people from all over Latin America. One of the things that I hadn't seen at many Bitcoin conferences that I go to is there was a fair number of people that were cryptocurrency miners and that were interested in talking about that. And y'all probably know I have a little bit of a passion for mining, and that's one of the things that I've been keeping busy with is adding some miners to my facility here lately. But there was well-attended conferences. I really enjoyed the Latin American Bitcoin Conference. We had great booth placement. There was professional design. We were right outside where people lined up to go into the different presentations. There was good quality speakers. It was a well-done event. And one of the things that's a little bit unique about it is they do this in a different country every year. So I think the one next year is going to be in Chile. That was what the rumor was, and it's one that we definitely need to attend. And as we were there, it was great getting our team together and talking and going out for a few adult beverages, and generally just hanging out and getting caught up. Was that we talked about the different cryptocurrency conferences that we should be looking at making sure we have a presence at next year. So if there's recommendations that y'all have for local events that have good attendance, that have a mix of people that come there, so people that are new to crypto, people that are experienced, just the whole gamut of the community, let us know. Because we definitely want to be attending these types of events. And so Angie and Ruben are based in Monterrey, Mexico. They have a lot of activity that they're planning on for meetups and going out to different cities and talking to folks, Spanish content. And what I learned from being at the conference is that there's a lot of eager people in Latin America. Many people hadn't heard of Zen Cash, and we were able to talk nonstop with people. just about what we have going on. And it wasn't just folks from Latin America that were there as well. There was different people from all over the place that were interested in getting a pulse of what's going on with the cryptocurrency industry. So that was a lot of fun. And in the China market, I don't see Jin here, so I'll do the update for him as well. And there's a lot of interest. Jane's been talking about this for a while, that there's been a lot of interest. Jin's echoing the same thing. And every market approaches things a little bit differently. There's certainly a lot of interest in China for secure node tracking and payment, as well as for miners. And kind of a note on that is, one of the things that we think is pretty important is to having a good, vibrant community that brings in folks from all sorts of different walks of life, whether it's people that contribute by going out and talking or presenting or doing meetups. Developers are obviously very important. It's nice to have investor interest in Zencash so that they buy a little bit of Zen on the exchanges and help the price go up and keep that sustained. That gives us a good baseline of funds that we can spend from the Treasury for development and research and marketing. And certainly having miners and mining pool people interested. And one of the things that we're doing with secure nodes, as a side note, and may not have explained this as well as I could have, is looking to get a whole another aspect of the cryptocurrency world, because with secure nodes, it gives us the opportunity to have sysadmins, IT guys, that might not be participating in cryptocurrency. Either their electricity costs are too high, they don't have lots of funds to invest, and they're not developers, although they're very technical. And the sysadmins are the folks that you really want on your side, because they're the ones that'll help you get your wallet set up and using and like to figure out the complex things. So some of what we're doing at Secure Nodes is oriented towards the technical people that are like system administrators that are good at running servers and keeping them secure. And that's why we have the staking amount of 42 Zen and then 1 on the secure node itself to do the shielded transactions. That's why we've designed it that way. And then we match the percentage of payout to the level of the cryptocurrency that you put in, for each secure node. So as we're going live, I'm pleasantly surprised by the amount of secure nodes that we have. As we have tracking them worldwide, if you go to the secure node tracking system, you'll see that we have a lot in Europe and that we have a lot in the Americas. We don't have as many in Southeast Asia. So problem is, I guess, that Jin noted, is that Chinese investors can't pass the Bittrex verification. So one of the things that we're actively working on is to see if we can get representation on exchanges that are in the Asian market. And so that's a big push, and we're having different discussions to be able to do that. So excited to bring in all the different elements of the community in both China as well as all the rest of the Asian countries. And here's some pictures of us at the Latin American Bitcoin Conference. We had a good booth. We had, these are on the left, and you can see different influencers that are there, the folks that are on our team. In fact, I don't know if you can see my cursor here, but that's me. That's Rosario. It's a fellow that's doing an ICO, and I did dress up one day, and Rosario wore her shirt, and Angie was there looking sharp as usual. And there's people that are all over the place. So we had the folks from Central America. So Randy, who's does some of the Twitter things for us. And Tigo did a great interview. He's runs a YouTube channel, The Arcane Bear. and Ruben here on the left, and Angie and Rosario and me. So yeah, we got out and about. We had a lot of different things that we could do. It looks like the Warsaw event was great. Man, that's a big screen that Rob is standing behind there. So and I like how Rob does presentations on crypto finance, because that's an important part. Currency is part of it, but it's just a small part of the finance. And he talked about the protocol voting system. In fact, that was one of the things in the Latin American Bitcoin conference. I had some people talk to me about and said that they're really watching the development that we're doing on the voting and treasury and community involvement, and that's a big effort for us. We've been hinting at some of the research and development that we're working on contracting with, which will then be followed on with software development. And some of the advantages that we have over other protocol voting systems is that we have shielded transactions. I certainly can't take credit for this idea, but the guys that we're talking to, the PhDs that are doing the researching and modeling, intend to use shielded transactions as part of the overall vote. Because when you vote on something, say we have a proposal and people are going to vote on it, some of the cryptocurrencies, the voting that happens, just like we saw with our logo voting contest, is you can see as the voting happens what the results are. And some people, game the system or jump on top of it. So voting during a period of time while you see what the results are is maybe not as useful as having secret ballot voting and not having the ability to see what the results are going to be until the voting's actually over. And so that's what the intention of the design of the treasury and voting system is going to be, is to be able to use shielded transactions, and this will obviously require updates to the Zen software, to be able to get voting tickets and then do the voting with shielded addresses. And then when the voting period and the time that the currency is in escrow is up, is to have your amount of Zen cash that was used for voting returned to you. So that's a ambitious system. I think it's very doable, but that's the type of things that as we progress through accomplishing what we've laid out in our white paper to do, and then the modifications and improvements that we've gained through our constant interactions with the community. That's one of the big things that we're looking to do here early next year. Marketing and rebranding. We had our logo contest, and that was an important and a good thing. And I think everybody saw the results. We are going to go through the things. Tatiana, I think you're getting a little bit of feedback on your mic there. So we've got our contract with Crypto Media Hub. They're increasing our Zencash marketing activities. Had a great time talking and hanging out with Tatiana in Bogota. And we're going to roll out the logo as part of the large and coordinated rebranding effort. And the rebranding is going to be website, press releases. This is not going to be a small thing. We're not just going to say, oh, here's the new logo, here's a new brand. We're going to do this right. We're going to take this as an opportunity to make a big deal out of it and make it public. So we had talked about the different prizes that we're going to do for the people that voted in the logo contest and the winners, and we're working our way through that. That's definitely on the list of things to get done. Tatiana, do you have an update?
Did you want me to walk through all this stuff? I didn't know if you wanted me to walk through it or if you're going to do that.
I have, let's see, we have the marketing and rebranding. If you'd like to talk to that, go for it. Love to hear the update.
Yeah, that's our jurisdiction. So yeah, it'd be great since I'm on the call to take the opportunity to chat with everybody. Hey guys, so a quick update on our end. Warsaw was really fun. Obviously, if some of you guys are watching some of the Facebook Lives or some of the posts, me and Rob, we got delayed. So that was a little bit of a drag. But I think that if you could spend 2 days in a delayed 48-hour hellish experience and not kill everybody and still have a good time, that's a good sign. Latin American Bitcoin Conference was really, booming as usual. it's like, I think my 4th or 5th year back there. So it'll be nice to go back next year with everybody. We've been basically working on a really big ad campaign around the secure nodes. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on where we're going to be posting some of these efforts. Michael, who is on our end, the graphic designer, is working with Mike Laurie and also Jonathan, the logo designer. But they've certainly been pulled in a number of different directions. So I know everybody's eager to know what's happening with the logo, but we had to do a whole bunch of ads today or this week in 5 different languages and 8 different sizes. So unfortunately, there's only so many hours in the day. But the ads will obviously promote the secure nodes. And let me read you what we've got so far. So we're doing a run on CoinMarketCap. Diario Bitcoin, which is a Spanish Bitcoin outlet. Portal do Bitcoin, which is a Brazilian cryptocurrency place. They're like the largest one in Brazil media outlet. So we'll test that out, see how that goes. We're also doing $4,000 worth of ads with Bitcoin Magazine, but then we're also doing 2 email blasts with them, and the emails go out to 17,000 different people. So we just sent out our first one a couple days ago. We're going to see what the open rate is like by the end of the week. So all these places are going to be providing us performance stats. And then we're going to price out what we're going to do with Why Bitcoin for them, but that's not due until the end of February, early March. So there's no reason to spend money on that yet. We're going to test how these ads are going. We're obviously sponsoring Sovereign Tech. I don't know if you guys have been listening to that at all. We're doing a full premium, shebang with Free Talk Live. And they've got a ton of shows, so we'll be doing a 1-year-long engagement with them. We're also supporting the Scott Horton Show, which is a very anti-war podcast on several times a week at scotthorton.org. And we also did a partnership with BitGive. So BitGive is the first real 501c3 legit charity in the crypto space. And we're excited to be basically a annual donor, so a reoccurring donor. Zencash was generous enough to donate $2,500. So that's like the second level of sponsorship. And I think that's really great. It shows our commitment. And then we're also doing a Zencash drive where you match the amount, basically Zencash up to $2,500 additional dollars. If you guys donate, they'll match your donation. So that could be really a good way for you to write off some tax write-offs. I don't know. You can do all sorts of things with it because BitGive is a real charity. The new logo, we're going to be rolling it out as part of the website. The logo is a little bit more priority than the website just because the website's going to have a lot more work. But we just need everybody to be a little patient while we get it right. And we want to make sure that all the colors are good. And we're also making a branding board. So once all of that, like all the fonts and all the colors and all the aesthetics are picked out, we'll share that so everybody else can kind of, adjust it to their country. There's some press releases coming out from the PR team over at Waxman. I'm not sure what they are offhand, but they're in charge of that stuff. We're doing a lot of social media. And then we're also doing a contest where if you guys send us your videos, your pictures, memes, anything that's holiday related, whatever we like the best, we'll get the first place winner will be getting 3 Zencash, and the second and third place are each going to get 1 Zencash. So the post with the most likes and shares, and a share counts for 3 likes, wins. So I don't know. I think it'd be fun if people did Christmas carols. I think that would make them win. But that's up to you guys. So if you want to think of like a holiday song and mix in Zen, I think that'd be cool. Or you could take a picture in front of your family, or I don't know, anything that you want. We just want to get people active on the socials. So, our Twitter is Zencash Official and our Facebook is Zencash. So also, I think that we've changed the website URL to zencash.com. So I think that'll be much easier for people to remember. Did I miss anything, Rolf? Anything else you want me to go over?
No, that was great touch on it. Your team's doing a wonderful job, and there's so many things that you got going on, which is great. I wanted ask as a follow-up for the BitGive as well as for the contest for sharing, if we can do a blog post that has the links and different information. Sometimes the YouTube live stream is a little bit hard to follow up with links and different things like that. And you're correct, as we're the zencash.com is the URL. Right now it redirects to our existing website. And I think that was a pretty big pickup for us. So it's going to be nice to have that formally rolled out in a professional rebranding campaign. I'm excited about that. I know a lot of people are, because it's important for us to, in a big way, get the word out to as many people as possible. And events like a rebranding or the secure nodes going live or payment, I'm so glad that your team has taken advantage of these opportunities to make a big deal out of it and let people know about what's going on. So keep up the good work. Thank you. All right, so next, we have upcoming events and conferences. You guys have asked about making sure to let us know, hey, if you're going to be at a place, where are you going to be, who's going to be there, and stuff like that. So Davy mentioned for the BTC Awards in Kiev for December 20th, that I think he said Alex was going to be there. And then the World Crypto Economic Forum in San Francisco. Rob's going to be there in early January. And then we've got Zencash in Hong Kong. I don't know what event that is for, but we'll definitely follow up with this. And we'll be working to make sure that we have the things on the blog post so that you can go back and reference them. And that was pretty much what we have for the update. We've had some questions on the anyway, not to minimize that, but there's a lot of great things going on. So thank you for everybody that's contributing to this, and the different regional folks, the marketing team, the developers, the secure node team. We've really got things going well, and it's nice to be able to go to a conference like the Latin American Bitcoin Conference or the Austin one that I went to, or the other ones that we're going to, and to be able to call ourselves kind of, the members of the community that are able to represent what it is that us as a community are doing for everything. So it's great to be part of such a great community and such an effort that's moving forward so quickly to be able to go represent that. So thanks to all of y'all who are doing this. So I saw that there's some questions on both the live stream as well as on the Discord. And, we should probably get the Watchman PR folks on one of these biweekly updates for a talk about what it is that they do, because our public relations is completely different from our marketing. And they're two different functions. They're two different organizations. Public relations is more like placements and mentions and things like that. And when we get placements and mentions in more wide stream articles, things like that, it makes people wonder, hey, who are these folks? It gives us legitimacy, and gives people, a lot of people in the wider community like to see that folks that are noted authorities say that it's okay to go talk and invest and become part of a different cryptocurrency. I think most of the folks on this call probably are like, yeah, well, if you go out and you do your research and you figure out what you want to be part of, and you just do it. That's one of the things that I like about the community. Okay, so partnerships is important. Let's see. There was a question about is there going to be a mobile app on the Apple phone? We have the mobile app that was developed and it works on Android. It's in the Play Store. If you want to run it on your iPhone and you have the technical capability to download it from the GitHub and put it onto your iPhone, you can do that right now. It works. There's a process for getting applications approved into the Apple App Store, and we're currently going through that process. So I don't know all the things that have to be done to continue that, but that's where we are at for the Apple phone. Let's see, any other questions? A question about the secure node tracking site. Is there a reason why the IP addresses are publicly listed? That's a great question. I know that we want to be able to have the information that is having secure nodes showing that they have a certificate and things like that. Obviously, if there's a certificate, it resolves, and a domain name, it resolves to the IP address. And I don't know where we're at on that. Debman, you up for taking a shot at answering the question about what's presented on the secure node tracking page, and if we can do other things to possibly minimize information that are there? One of the things is that all the nodes that are out there, you could do a node walk. There's a lot of different ways to find out the information. So I don't know whether it's important or not to have that information on the tracking site. Alan?
Yeah, just following on what you were saying right there. I mean, all the information is easily available for IP addresses. It's also on the Zen network site, and anybody could fire up a node. It's really not quite looked at as an issue. I mean, the information is so easily available in other ways. I don't know that hiding the information or suppressing it or making it otherwise unavailable to the general public would make that much of a difference at this point. But if there are some, good concerns on that, certainly listening to what people's opinions and outlook on it, and see what we can do with it.
Okay, great. Appreciate it. As long as we got you here, do you have any other updates or things that I might have missed in my overview of the secure nodes?
Yeah, just that the secure nodes and the tracking system are still going to be in beta for a while. So we're not just flipping over to production. We really want to make sure that the payments and the payouts and the earnings are being accurately reflected. So there may be some hiccups, we don't know yet, for this number of nodes on the system, and we'll see how that goes over the next week or two to be able to make sure that everything is accurate and reviewed and being done properly.
Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, who knows? We've talked about a number of the different things that went through to address how to do payments as we increase the number of nodes, and integrating the different security features and all the other things. And I feel really good about the development and testing and where we are today. But that's one of the things with software development and putting things in production is, you run into things that you hadn't seen before, and you need to address them. So, but this is a fun time when you take a project and have built it up and you start going live with it. I think we're going to have a lot of fun here over the next few weeks. Certainly a nice holiday present for everybody.
Oh, I think so too.
Okay. Let's see. I'm scrolling through the different comments on the Discord and and on YouTube. I think we've addressed most of them. Some of the other ones can be more discussions or things that we want to talk about. One of the things was the integrating the secure nodes into the protocol itself. I want to talk a little bit about the protocol upgrades. So certainly getting the voting and other things like that into the Zen node software as it is an important thing, and that's on the roadmap. Regarding the integration of secure nodes into the protocol itself, kind of like what Dash does on how their payment and all the clones of that. One of our research efforts, and we've talked about it on live streams before, is figuring out how we can work to take some of these newer things that have been developed that are not necessarily based upon the Bitcoin protocol itself, which is what Zencash is currently, but there's other things out there, whether it's a DAG or a Tangle or you look at what EOS is doing. There's other ideas out there on how to operate blockchains or similar distributed systems that we're going to research and saying, okay, what's the next good thing to be able to possibly look at doing to increase the speed, increase the scalability, increase the security, and different things like that. So as we go through and do that, any system is going to have the requirement for nodes all over the world. So I don't see that the secure nodes would change as we go through and what, like I call, dropping a new. We've built this big beautiful car. You can call it whatever kind of car that you want, and saying, okay, well, hey, how about we look at doing an engine upgrade to the car itself? And so that's what one of the research projects is, and I see the secure node integration into the protocol being able to be part of that. I see a big bunch of words posted here on a number of different questions. I think we've addressed most of them. So unless there's any other last minute questions, then we're going to go ahead and finish this up and save any others for future ones. So we're going to, so what's Charles Hoskinson's involvement with the project? Well, Charles was there before we launched, and we had a great time talking with Charles at Consensus. And for the folks that have been with us for a while, the lead developer that we had when we first launched the project is no longer with us. And we had an issue when we first launched that we had some transaction replays. And if you look back through the history, we identified all the different transaction replays that happened as we did our chain split from Z Classic. And we repaid those through the community funds. And as we went through and had and you can see some of this I talked about at my presentation that was posted online at the Texas Bitcoin Conference in Austin, because we were basically attacked at that point. And we had to update our code and we had to improve things in order for Zencash to be able to continue. We were not trading on Bittrex, or the deposits and withdrawals were shut down. We were trading, and we had to figure out a way to go forward. So Charles Hoskinson, as one of our advisors and head for IOHK, and IOHK, if y'all are familiar with Cardano, recently did the contracted development with that, gave us the use of one of his teams, called Team Veritas, based out of Ukraine, that had C++ experience, that had Bitcoin experience, and worked very closely with us for a number of months to go through and address the transaction replays, as well as to integrate the TLS security. So Charles Hoskinson has been active in supporting Zen as an advisor, and hopefully at some point in the future we can have a more formal relationship with IOHK, but that's still to be determined. And for the way that we're spending the treasury and community funds, I know people ask that because right now it's okay. The different people that help launch Zen and the different people that are part of the community are the ones that are involved in spending the funds. First of all, we established the Zen Blockchain Foundation as the organization that's responsible for spending the community funds. And part of what we're doing is we consider our mandate to be executing on the white paper and the roadmap that we defined, and treating this as a bootstrap small business where we control costs, make sensible decisions, do things by proposal processes, negotiate to get the best terms, and otherwise act as good custodians of the community funds. Meanwhile, working to grow the value of the cryptocurrency so that as these treasury funds are able to be spent for research and development, we can as rapidly, as reasonably as possible, get into a treasury and voting model where those funds can be put over to the community to be able to make proposals, vote, and spend. So yes, we're going to be doing reporting of how the funds have been spent. every spending, all the spends that we have done are being done with that in mind. I know Rob was interviewing accountants last week. There's all these different professional people that we have to bring on as part of a real organization. Marketing, PR, development, IT, regional representatives. We're basically building a business on the fly, bootstrapped by our own success. So it's very easy for folks to say, especially when the Zencash value went from $3 per Zen to 30 in a matter of funds, saying, oh my God, you guys have $500,000 a month to spend. How come all this stuff hasn't happened? Well, it's just as easy to say, as custodians of the fund, you need to make sure that things are done in a good manner, that's defensible, that's done by standard business processes, and that things aren't changed too rapidly, and certainly that funds aren't spent in any way that when there is a complete review of the way that the funds are spent, that there's questions that are asked. So I'm comfortable that that things are being done properly. I know I had a chance to talk with Rob and Rosario and Jane and catch up about that, and we're all on the same page about this. And the nice thing is we've been around and involved in different businesses and communities and efforts and things like that. I mean, from my point of view, I don't need this. This isn't a job. This is something that I enjoy doing because I like to be able to contribute the experience and expertise that I have to a project that I believe in. And I wouldn't be part of a project that would be able to, if things are done in a way that don't fit what I think should be done by doing things the right way, with integrity, with good business practices and things like that, I don't need to be part of it. But I'm here, and I am part of it, and I like being part of this community, and I like the things that we're accomplishing and the goals. So do I have a better answer for everybody about how all the funds are being spent and how everything is done? I don't, but the intention is that we're going to publish and be very transparent on how we're doing things and continue to do that, balanced with growing the value of the cryptocurrency through development, marketing, community efforts, and things like that. It takes time to build a business. It takes time to build an organization and a product and things like that that are successful. And for those of y'all that have been in small business, you know that there's two steps forward and sometimes one step back, and things come up all the time that need to be addressed. So we're going through that process. I feel really good about it, and I'm going to wrap up there. So thanks for you guys being part of the community, and we're going to continue starting from this point forward, 2 weeks update every 2 weeks, and all the things that we say that we're going to do. I think we've built a good track record so far of accomplishing the things that we say that we're going to do, and you're going to see us continue to do that. So thanks to all of you, and I'll wrap up here.